And the default position when you get married in terms of customary law is that you are married in community of property, right? That means that both spouses share in each other's assets and liabilities. So if the wife had a property before she got married, then the husband now is entitled to a half share of that property, even though he wasn't there when she bought it. Okay, that's often the common scenario. Oh, but I bought this before I got married, so why does he get it? Well, you're married in community of property. What's yours is mine, and vice versa. So everything is completely shared. The assets and liabilities of the husband and of the wife are joined together. And so we share in everything, okay? So be very careful if you've got assets already. Be mindful that your partner might be entitled to those assets as well, okay? So often then the question becomes, how do I prevent that? How do I prevent my spouse from getting my property? I don't want them to get my property. And the way around that is to have an antenuptial contract, okay? So an antenuptial contract is a contract that is drafted by the notary, and it sets out the matrimonial property regime, which is to be married out of community of property with or without accrual. And it's to keep your assets separate from each other, especially those assets that you acquired before you got married. So you can state in the antenuptial contract, this house does not form part of our accrual, or in the case of if you're married out of community of property without accrual, that your estates are completely separate. Okay, you don't share in any assets or liabilities at all. Okay. The misconception, and I get this a lot of clients come to me, they've had their customary marriage, everything has been celebrated, and they don't realize that they are now married in community of property. They'll come into my office and they'll ask me to draft an antenuptial contract, and they want to be married out of community of property with accrual, for example. And I state, when did you have your customary marriage? And they go, 2 weeks ago, and it was nice. And they show me photos. And I say, look, if you've had your customary marriage already, then I cannot ethically register an antenuptial contract for you stating you are married out of community of property, because when you are married in terms of customary law, you are married in community of property. Okay, the default position is that you are married in community of property. If you wanted to be married out of community of property, then this antenuptial contract needed to be signed before the negotiations are ready. Before any negotiations, before any celebrations, before anything starts, sign the antenuptial contract. Go and see a notary, sign the antenuptial contract, and protect yourself in advance before you get to the stage where you are already legally married in terms of the recognition of Customary Marriages Act.